Hi everybody, this is Lara at pureelliottwave.com with an extra video for you this week. I'm going to update my analysis on Tron. I thought that, well, it was still on my list. I've got that list of cryptocurrencies to look at for you. What have I got left? ZBit, SC, ICX, SC, USD and VET. And I had Tron on that list. I've just taken it off because when I updated the chart data, it turns out I already had analysed this. So I want to buy some, I think. So I want to update this analysis and see if it's got reasonable looking Elliott wave structures now. I just spent a bit of time on the daily chart going through this piece of movement, and it actually does subdivide quite well. So it appears to have just enough volume for reasonable looking Elliott wave structures, which is important because that's part of my exit strategy. So I'm going to update my daily chart here. Now, my question is primary wave 2 over? Is this the start of primary wave 3 or not? Here, primary wave 2 lasted just 2 weeks. Cycle wave 1 I have lasting only 15 weeks. I don't think that's long enough, and I think I need to move the degree of labelling here down 1 degree. So let's do that first, because that's just too brief. And this is one of the reasons I like motive wave. Let's decrease. There we go. That's better, isn't it? So in a primary degree third wave, and the question is intermediate wave 2 over? That's better. So primary 1 lasting 15 weeks. That's okay. Let's do the same on this chart. Move everything down 1 degree. That's better. Now the question is intermediate wave 2 over? I am not sure. Don't want to label it over here because it would be truncated. I don't really want to label it over here because this looks like such a good 5-wave structure. What? I think I need to have an alternate. I think I've only got 2 charts for Tron. Yep, that's it. Okay. If I just continue with this, what was my target? 0.1058. What did it reach? 0.107. But that doesn't look like a 5, does it? It doesn't look like a 3. Oh, I know. Okay, no, this is a double zigzag. That actually looks alright too. Zigzag. X. Zigzag. Let's get rid of this because that's now, and let's calculate. Where would C reach equality in length with A? So C starts at 0.107251. That would take it into negative territory, so that's not possible. So let's try C reaching 0.618, the length of A. Okay, that's possible. 0.024987, but where's the invalidation point? No. Oh no, that would be fine. Okay, yeah, that wouldn't be invalid. So let's put that in there for a target for this first wave count, and then I'll work on an alternate. Let's put an arrow in here. That's what this wave count expects. Somewhere down about here. Okay, that's the first wave count. Now let's do an alternate. So start with this. I'm going to delete all of this for this alternate. I want to see what if this could be over here. Could it be a double zigzag? Let's expand this out so I can see these wave structures better. My main wave count has a triangle in here. Okay. Could this be a zigzag with a triangle in it? No, that doesn't really work. Now does C work? Well, W works, that's for sure. No problems there. And here the C actually looks pretty good. I'm just looking at the structure within Minuet 1. There'd be an overlap with this low and this high. I guess it could be a leading diagonal. Oh, I just can't see how this C wave is going to fit, and where else would the X wave end? Well, okay. What if the X wave was a triangle? Because that's how I want to see this movement. That looks terrible though. I mean, it's technically valid. It meets all the rules for a regular contracting triangle. It doesn't look very good because the trend lines don't really converge very much, although they do converge pretty obviously. Okay, so I think that might be the best alternate I'm going to be able to come up with. Now I want to have a look at classic analysis and use that to determine which of these alternates is correct. This one that sees intermediate 2 continuing lower, huge bearish engulfing candlestick pattern here though, suggesting probably more downward movement. Or this one that sees an intermediate degree 3rd wave underway. There is a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern here. There's another one here. Let's have a look and see if they've got support from volume. So the current situation, this is the current daily chart for Tron. Here's those bullish engulfing candlestick patterns. The first one lacks support from volume. You have to compare the volume of the candlestick reversal pattern to the candlesticks immediately prior. Even though the one afterward did have push from volume, the actual bullish engulfing candlestick pattern itself did not. So the conclusion is, cannot have confidence in this one. But this one, yeah, it does. It's still lighter than this, but it's stronger than immediate candlesticks prior. So this candlestick pattern here does have support from volume, so we can have confidence in this one. It tells us there's been a trend change. Now at the high, we have bearish divergence between price and RSI after RSI reached reasonably overbought. A strong bearish engulfing candlestick pattern, which I should note on this chart, and it has a strong push from volume. This is really bearish for Tron. I would expect, I could probably draw in some more support lines here. Next one about 0.07 and below that 0.057. Nothing from on-balance volume at the moment. Nothing. Well, ADX just reached very extreme for the prior upward trend. I'd want to have a look back though and see how extreme ADX can get for an upward trend for Tron. I haven't done that yet. But with ADX extreme, RSI extreme, bearish divergence and a huge bearish engulfing candlestick pattern, I'd say Tron's most likely going to continue lower. Let's look out for it to go down until price reaches support and stochastics reaches into oversold. And maybe, but not necessarily, RSI might even just touch oversold. It doesn't appear to move very deeply oversold on downward movements. Let's also have a look, and comparing this situation, these recent lows for Tron, let's have a look at this past major low, just quickly going back to the Elliott wave count. I'm looking at this one here, March 2020. This is a very important low for this particular market. And here we're looking at it on a technical analysis chart. Here is Here is the March 2020 low. I noticed some strong bullish divergence between price and stochastics, but not between price and RSI. But RSI did actually dip somewhat into oversold territory. Not very common for these cryptocurrencies, so when it gets like that, you can fairly reasonably expect a bounce about there, and we certainly did get it. There is no bullish candlestick pattern though at the low, and the first bullish candlestick didn't have support from volume, so volume is weak and light early on in these movements for these cryptocurrencies. Seems to be a pattern for this one as well. On balance, volume would have given a very confusing signal here. It gave a bearish signal at this low. ADX at the low was not extreme. It didn't reach extreme until after. It is a lagging indicator. It's based here on a 14-day average. I'm looking at this on a daily chart for Tron for this important low. And ATR increased throughout this movement, and then toward the end it actually declined toward the low compared to prior movement. So it would have been pretty hard to identify that one. I think RSI would have been the big giveaway, that in conjunction with some bullish divergence from stochastics. So compare this situation to the current situation. What do we have down here? RSI just barely touched oversold. It's well back in neutral territory though. Doesn't mean price can't fall and can't fall below this. It could do that, and RSI could again just touch oversold. And ADX hasn't reached as extreme as it did for that previous low in March 2020 at these lows here. I think we probably are going to see more downward movement for Tron, and I'm going to go with this as the main wave count, and this is the alternate. Here's the price point that differentiates them. It's this low down here. Sadly, it's a long way away, 0.046821. So I think I may keep an eye on this one and not buy it quite yet. I think I may keep an eye on it, and I may update you over the next couple of weeks or so, and if it does get down below this point, then I may throw just a little bit of money at it. When I buy these smaller cryptocurrencies, I'm only buying really small amounts, like, I don't know, $100 or $200 US, really not much at all. I'm only investing funds I am absolutely, completely comfortable losing in their entirety. No more. That's all I'm prepared to invest in them. But imagine if you'd bought some Bitcoin back in about, let's see, 2009, about 2011, 2012. Let's see. Somewhere back in here, about 2011, and sold it when I expected that there was a sustainable high in place here on the 23rd of December. If you'd invested just say $100 down here when it was about $2 and sold it here, the close on that day I anticipated a sustainable high was, I think, 14,396. Your $100 could have made you over $5 million. So that's the bet here. Chuck $100 or $200 at Tron and just see what happens in the next few years. I'm prepared to hold these for a few years, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 7 years. Okay, that's my little update for you on the one I'm looking at buying next. And the other one I'm going to have a look at buying, and I wanted to, but my crypto exchange that I have an account with didn't allow it. They had a problem, but that's now resolved and I can, is Iriarte. And so I'll have an update for you for that maybe tomorrow, and I'll be looking at perhaps buying a little bit of that one too. Okay, that's all for this extra update for the YouTube subscribers and my members. Thank you very much for watching.